Hello everyone, I'm Shannon Deskins with East Kentucky Broadcasting, your host today for the City Commissioners Report. And with me today I have City Commissioner and Mayor Pro Tem Jimmy Carter. Nice to have you with us today.
Hello Shannon, good to be here as always, and thank you for taking time out to help us along and get the word out to everybody.
Well, I like sitting here and hearing what's going on in the city, as does everyone else. Well, we've got a new commission. This is the first time you and I have sat down and talked since the new swearing-in ceremony. So
we do. Jerry Keith Coleman was sworn in this past Monday. This is the 12th, 12/12/12 today, as a matter of fact.
So, it is.
Yes, Jerry Keith was sworn in and had a nice ceremony Monday evening, right before the parade. So we've got a new commission ready to step forward and move forward and keep progressing as we have been. As you know, Shannon, that Dallas Lane, we lost him this time with the election, but Dallas, with all the awards and accolades that he got during the meeting, I think he's good to go. He's very encouraging of Jerry Keith, and they've both talked several times, and there's some good relationship going on there, and I feel sure that Jerry Keith will extend an arm out when he needs to and ask for Dallas's help when he needs to, or any of us as far as that goes.
And I guarantee Dallas will be there.
He'll be there. He says you can't get rid of him that easy.
Now, I was looking back at, just something about Dallas. He's just got a lifetime of service. I mean, from serving our country, in the military, to serving the community as a banker all those years, and then coming on and as a city commissioner. And I don't think that he's going to quit just because he doesn't sit beside you on the commission.
No, absolutely not. And he told me Monday night that he wants to do a little bit more traveling, where he's been a little bit restricted from doing that, from participating in a lot of the events that we have, being a city commissioner and with the commission. But he definitely is going to be active in the community and still be active with the city.
Speaking of the commission, I guess let's go right into the business of your past meeting that you guys had. One of the things that I want to mention is that you did get an update from Daniel Hall on the Vaughn and Melton City Sewer Plant project. So basically give us just a background of what that project is going to be.
Well, as we've said in the past few months, that we've had to move forward with a new sewage treatment wastewater plant. We are at major capacity. I think our current plant is at 2 million gallons is what it's rated for a day. We're like at 1.89 million gallons a day, and as everybody knows, with all the growth and expansion that we've got going on in the city, we still have a lot of buildings that really haven't come online yet. So the Department of Water is very eager for us to move forward and getting a new wastewater treatment plant in place. It's a huge project. It's a very expensive project. The good news is, with the plant that we have right now, what we've been told with the new technology is that we can use the existing plant and use membranes and that type of filtration system, other than having to build a new plant. And what we've been told also is, if we're at a 2 million gallon capacity right now, that plant could go up to 6 million gallons if needed, by using the right filtration system in the tubs that we already exist.
Well, that's good, because we've got so many projects that haven't even, some that are under construction but are not finished, and then you've got some that they're probably waiting on this project, I guess, to even break ground.
Right. What we don't want to happen is the Division of Water to come in and say, to put a tap ban on us to where we cannot add any more businesses or homes to our existing sewer system. That's why it's so important that we move forward as quickly as possible and get this project going. And we feel now that we've taken that first step with the designs going forward at this point, and we should hear back in the next 6 weeks or so, and we'll get a better time frame on when we might be able to get started with it.
So I guess this is something you and I will be talking about quite a bit in the future.
Absolutely.
But it's good news, and it's all about the growth of Pikeville.
It is good news. Like I said, there is an expense always with growth, and this is no different than anything else. We've got to keep that in mind as well. I mean, when you go from we're going to be doubling our capacity in our wastewater treatment plant, so of course there's going to be a cost involved with that. We don't know what that is yet. Hopefully there's going to be some grants out there and some additional monies that we can get.
Oh, good. Another thing that came up during the commission meeting was the Pikeville Theater project. You've got some bids out, getting ready to start the first phase of that.
That's right. We met last week and threw some numbers out there, and there have been some bids, and I'm not sure that they all got put in correctly, but I know that we're ready to move forward like the second week of January, and I don't have that name right at this moment of who might be doing that work, but they're still saying that we're on schedule for the December of 2013 to have this project completed, and they said, hopefully by the second week of January we'll be able to see. We'll be seeing the foundation going in, and they'll be on site doing the plumbing, that type of thing.
On paper, when you and I talk, we say December 2013. That's a year away. But in terms of growth and construction, that is no time.
That's a very short period of time. Given with the new hotel coming up, they're still on pace to what I've been told by June or July of this year, or 2013, which is just 5 or 6 months to go, and it'd be hard to imagine, but they're moving right along with it as well.
Those are two projects that go right along with. I like talking to people when they come to Pikeville for Hillbilly Days, because a lot of the people and our vendors and the guests who come from out of town, it's different. Pikeville looks different every single year when they come in, and this year's not going to be any exception.
It'll be even more, I think, because I don't think the hotel had even started at that point, so they're going to be almost completed by the time this next group comes in for Hillbilly Days, which is kind of amazing. It really is.
I just love to see the people's faces, and then that's an extra pride of, living in such a progressive city, because, the country is not in the best shape. And our area is not in the best shape, but to live in a city that continues to grow in despite of, all that other stuff. It's a pride thing.
It is a pride thing, and there has been some negative publicity recently about Eastern Kentucky and Pikeville, and I think the newspaper and the local radio station have stepped up and shown our dislike on some of the things that were said. And my understanding was that the local publisher has invited the editorial
You're being
board.
So diplomatic. I am just waiting on you to throw something out there. And,
I think the people there at the Lexington Herald were asked if they'd ever been to Pikeville, and I think all of them said no, they'd never been. So it's hard to, I would say, judge until let's get the reaction when they come here and see what they think then.
And that was all about, we're going off track a little bit, but that was all about the UPike thing about becoming a state college or a state university, and I think they had some opinions about not wanting to see that happen. So I like that the invitation's been extended, and I'm sure you all agree with that, and we'd love to have those people come and see what we've got to offer.
Be glad to show them everything that's taken place and it's going to continue taking place, and the expansion that's going to continue to go and happen.
And one thing, we're talking about Lexington and other parts of the state, the things that Pikeville has to offer, a lot of it is the exact same thing, from healthcare to banking to education to all the other things, and entertainment. And that's one thing I want to kind of segue into is the East Kentucky Expo Center. And we may talk a little bit about this. SMG is the management company that has booked, I guess you could say, and the Expo Center since day one. Right. And you, with the help of the city, because of the city's role now, I believe you've got a contract extension with that company.
We did extend their contract 5 years, and the reason being is that we felt like, since the city has stepped up, and when we did step up to help save the Expo from closing its doors, they have done an excellent job of additional bookings and keeping the place open to where we can, and I don't have the exact numbers, to where more people can enjoy it and go in and have different events. It's been great. They've done an excellent job, and Steve St. John and his staff do a superb job.
And, we can talk about that whole setup, I guess you could say, for a second, because a lot of people, and the Expo Center is just an education issue, I believe, for our community, for our region, because before the Expo Center, we didn't have anything like that was run like that here. So just to clarify, the city, and this may help you all when it comes to people calling you and wanting you to book a certain act, the city actually doesn't book acts for the Expo Center, correct?
That is correct. SMG, they take care of all that, and to the defense, I guess, a lot of people say, well, why can't we get this act or why can't we get that act? And why do we always have to have them during the week? Or, why can't we get weekend? I think Rascal Flatts is coming February 23rd, and that just happens to be a Saturday, which
That
is
is
going
a
to be huge.
prime date,
Which
correct?
will be huge for the area. But, routing, scheduling, SMG is involved in just not here, but several locations and 8 or 10 other venues that.
Just local.
Yeah.
As far as that, SMG is the world's largest event management company. So the reason Pikeville doesn't get those prime dates, and you and I know this, is your bigger cities are going to get your prime dates.
Right.
So let's say you've got Cincinnati, a band is going to be in Cincinnati, and then they're going to be in, say, Knoxville on weekends. Well, there's an open date in the middle. Well, Pikeville, when you look at the map, a lot of that is they go, we're going to be in A and B. What can we put in the middle?
Right.
And it may be a Tuesday or a Wednesday show, but we're glad to get them.
But that's okay. We're always glad to get them, and I'll be honest with you, I don't think it hurts our attendance because we draw from such a huge area, and we're not the largest venue, but we're a great venue. 7,000 seats for a concert when it's set up that way, and I've been told by a lot of people that don't wait and don't worry if there's only upper arena tickets left, because there's really not a bad seat at the Expo Center, and I've been told many times, and I've been up in the upper arena watching shows, and there's really not. It's not a huge facility, but it's quaint, I guess you could say, in a way that you can still be in the upper arena top row and still feel like you're right on top of it.
Well, anybody that's been in Rupp Arena, think about it this way: the entire East Kentucky Expo Center, even the top seats, will sit inside Rupp Arena's lower level.
Right.
So that's a good way to mentally
analogy.
think about that. Is the highest seat in Pikeville is still as good as anything in lower arena at Rupp.
That's a good analogy.
You're looking at 7,000 seats versus 24,000 seats.
Right.
And you talk to a lot of acts, and they prefer a venue of that size. I mean, they like being, I guess you could call it, more intimate with their crowds, and a lot of times the show's better.
Right.
So, I mean, of course, we're prejudiced.
We
love, and and it's awesome to think that the money that used to go out of Pikeville is now coming into Pikeville. You've got people staying in their hotels, and they're eating in our restaurants, and they're shopping at our retail places just to come in and see entertainment that we have to offer.
That's a very good point, and I think we have the blinders on sometimes and don't realize that, but we're bringing a lot of tax dollars and tax revenue into Pikeville that the people and the citizens of Pikeville aren't necessarily paying. It's people that are coming in from the region.
And the Mountain Parkway is not one way anymore, and I love that. For so long it was, for whatever reason, for health care or for entertainment or for shopping, it's not that way anymore. So.
Absolutely not.
You mentioned a couple acts. You said Rascal Flatts, February 23rd, and then the Hillbilly Days show has been announced.
Just announced, yes.
Brantley Gilbert, and I think those tickets are going on sale this weekend.
Yes.
So,
I got an email this morning that there were some 4-packs, I think, going on sale this weekend. So
a lot of good stuff happening.
Absolutely, and again, the Expo Center, they do a great job, and Steve and his staff, outstanding.
And 5 more years with the management company that can make that happen. So that's a good thing.
It's
good
a very
news.
good thing.
It's nice when we can sit down and say good things.
Good thing.
And just really, in closing, for us to talk about a few things business-wise, Christmas is coming up, of course. You guys are not going to have a city commission meeting on December 24th. Of course, that's Christmas Eve.
The way it fell this year, yes, that's correct. I think we're looking at maybe having a special call meeting on the 7th of January to do any business that we need to, or anything in between. If anything comes up, city manager will call a special meeting if need.
Exactly. And then City Hall is going to be closed Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, and New Year's Day and New Year's Eve.
Right.
So.
And with this said, this time of year, I'd like to wish everyone a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, and continue to be prosperous in the city of Pikeville, and hopefully we can move forward and do what the people of Pikeville want us to do, and continue to do that.
Any closing words before we say goodbye for this episode?
That's just it. And again, I appreciate your time coming in to help us spread the word of the news of the city of Pikeville.
Well, thank you. And thank you for joining us today for this City Commissioners Report. For Jimmy Carter, for East Kentucky Broadcasting, and for Pike TV, I'm Shannon Deskins.
Before we actually started with the swearing-in ceremony, first of all, we want to again welcome everybody. We hope everybody enjoyed your dinner for tonight. We want to welcome the candidates that ran and was successful in the last election. And tonight we're here to celebrate not only their win, but to make it official. Pursuant to law, we have to swear you in prior to January 1st, so we're looking forward to getting through this event. The other thing we would like to do is outside in the hallway, we'd also like to officially welcome Judge Friend, and we appreciate him coming tonight. And then also back in the corner there, Judge Rutherford. He's here in a couple of capacities, Judge, serving as the county judge, and then also the father-in-law of one of those that are being sworn in today. So, Judge, welcome. Before we get, as I said, into the swearing-in ceremony, we'd like to take a moment to honor a city commissioner. As everyone here is aware, well, before I go to there, I had the great privilege of serving in this capacity for almost 9 years now. It'll be 9 years in January. And when I came on, one of the commissioners that was serving at that time, which out of the 5 members, 4 of them were all in seats at that time, but there was one of the commissioners that was on at this time. I went to school with his son. I have, over the past several years, have become very, very close and think of this individual as not only a city commissioner, but a great and dear friend, somebody that I treasure and love and will always remember my friendships and those things that he has taught me over the last 9 years in many different ways. But we're not only going to miss, tonight's a night of celebration to welcome the 4 commissioners in, but also to celebrate the last 11, 12 years, Commissioner Lane, of your contributions to this community. Prior to serving with this community, Commissioner Lane served on several boards and commissions for the city of Pikeville also. As he's not only serving his country and serving his community as an executive, as a banker, he elected to take up the political office and serve in another very rewarding capacity. So at this time, I would like to ask Commissioner Lane to come forward, and the mayor has a special presentation for him. Commissioner?
Just sit here, Dallas. It says, in honor of your 12 years of outstanding commitment, dedicated service, and accomplishments which have been of great value to the community and the city of Pikeville, you have helped to further the common goal of making all of our city a better place and improve the quality of life for all. January the 1st, 2001 to December the 31st, 2012.
What does the guy say about when they start recognizing him and everything for things like this? You know, my reward has been serving this commission for 12 years with the guys that's been on the commission and the great things that's happened during my tenure. I don't know of anything more rewarding to me than my time on this commission. And I know that I certainly welcome Jerry Keith. He's going to feel the same way I do about this place, and he'll be a great asset to the community and to the commission. So, but I've had a really great reward knowing all you folks, both back in the banking days and during all my time here. So it's really nice to be here and to be recognized for the things that anybody, many people have done things and they do need to be recognized, but I don't think I'm in that category. So thank you so much.
Commissioner Lane, we'd like to get a picture with your plaque and the mayor. All right. Commissioner, thank you for those kind words. As Dallas just said, you know, over the last 9 years that I've had the great privilege of being associated with Dallas in this capacity, the community has prospered and grown in so many different ways. I've heard the judge numerous times talk about the progressive county and the progressive city, and it takes a lot of commitment of those that are elected to represent the people to make those things happen. So Dallas, we congratulate you, but as we have told them, don't go too far because we still have some work for you after you so-called retire. And we're looking, as Dallas just said, so very elegantly, and as he always does, he's a class act, welcoming our Commissioner-elect Coleman. Jerry Keith, I know that you and right after the election, you and Dallas got together and had some great words. And he gave you a lot of words of encouragement and offered a hand to help you, in which you said that you would take time and time again. So we're extremely delighted, again, to not only honor a great man, but also to welcome one as well as part of our commission. So with all that said, we're going to actually start into our official ceremony now. As I said, pursuant to KRS, once an election is over, there is a formal ceremony that takes place by the tradition of the City Commission. The commissioners have the opportunity of electing of who in various capacities that is acknowledged by the statute to exercise this oath of office. So at this time, I would like to welcome and bring to the podium Judge Friend and the first commissioner that will be sworn in, Commissioner Barry Cheney.
Before we commence, I simply want to say that I've had very few honors in life in the 13 years I've served as judge. But when I have the privilege of administering this oath to a man that has worked so diligently in the war against drugs, it's just such a privilege to be able to administer an oath to him, both as a commissioner and as a God-fearing Christian. So, Commissioner Cheney, would you raise your right hand and be sworn, please, sir? Do you solemnly swear or affirm that you will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of this Commonwealth, and be faithful and true to the Commonwealth of Kentucky, so long as you continue a citizen thereof, and that you will faithfully execute to the best of your ability the office of Pikeville City Commissioner according to law? And do you solemnly swear or affirm that since the adoption of the present Constitution, you being a citizen of the state have not fought a duel with deadly weapons within the state nor out of it, nor have you sent or accepted a challenge to fight a duel with deadly weapons, nor have you acted as a second in carrying out a challenge, nor aided or assisted any person thus offending, so help you God? I do. Congratulations, Mr. Griffin.
Again, congratulations, Commissioner Cheney. And also, Judge Friend, we greatly appreciate your service on the bench, and not only to the bench, but to the community. The judge does a lot of things that a lot of folks don't see, and has been very involved and I know very appreciated by Commissioner Cheney, who holds you in very high esteem. I know I didn't give him opportunity to speak at the microphone, but I figured I'd say it for him. We greatly appreciate all you do. Okay, the next person we would like to call to the podium would be Commissioner Gene Davis, and the oath will be administered by Mayor Frank Justice. Commissioner Davis and his family.
Tell us what to do. We haven't done this very many times.
I know you want to raise his right hand.
Swear me in.
I'll swear you in. Just right. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that you support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of this Commonwealth, and be faithful and true to the Commonwealth of Kentucky, so long as you continue a citizen thereof, and that you will faithfully execute to the best of your ability the office of City Commissioner of the Board of Commissioners for the City of Pikeville, Kentucky, according to law? And do you further solemnly swear or affirm that since the adoption of the Constitution, you, being a citizen of the state, have not fought a duel with deadly weapons within this state, nor out of it, nor have you sent or accepted a challenge to fight a duel with deadly weapons, or have acted as a second in carrying challenge, nor aided or assisted any person this offending, so help you God? Congratulations.
We would like to ask to come up to the podium Commissioner Jimmy Carter and his family, please.
You solemnly swear or affirm that you support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of this Commonwealth, and be faithful and true to the Commonwealth of Kentucky so long as you continue a citizen thereof, and that you will faithfully execute to the best of your ability the office of City Commissioner of the Board of Commissioners for the City of Pikeville, Kentucky, according to law. And do you further solemnly swear or affirm that since the adoption of the Constitution, you, being a citizen of the state, have not fought a duel with deadly weapons within this state, nor out of it, nor have you sent or accepted a challenge to fight a duel with deadly weapons, or have acted as a second in carrying challenge, or aided or assisted any person this offending, so help you God.
I do. Thank you.
All right. And last but certainly not least, Commissioner-elect Jerry Keith Coleman. We invite you and your family up, please.
You solemnly swear or affirm that you support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of this Commonwealth, and be faithful and true to the Commonwealth of Kentucky so long as you, a citizen thereof, and that you will faithfully execute to the best of your ability the office of City Commissioner of the Board of Commissioners for the City of Pikeville, Kentucky, according to law. And do you further solemnly swear or affirm that since the adoption of the Constitution, you, being a citizen of the state, have not fought a duel with deadly weapons within this state, nor out of it, nor have you sent or accepted a challenge to fight a duel with deadly weapons, or have acted as a second in carrying challenge, nor aided or assisted any person this offending, so help you God?
I do.
Congratulations.